Hello, this is Ramon Wisar, Service Engineer for Edan Instruments, and through this video I will be providing a brief overview of the CO2 sampling system for your Edan Patient Monitor. The system is composed of three main pieces. The first piece is the low flow respironics module. This is the actual CO2 sensor that analyzes the sample and produces the CO2 waveform and numerical reading on the screen. That's this piece right here. The second piece is the dehumification line. This is a tube that clips into the low flow module. So it clips right here, and it has a special clip because these dehumification lines are only manufactured by Respironics. It serves two purposes: to carry the CO2 sample to the module and to prevent any humidity from reaching the electronic components of your machine. Older CO2 systems needed to use a water tramp, but via new polymer technology, this is eliminated, and as a result, operator maintenance is reduced. The third piece is the cannula. This is the actual part of the tubing that is making contact with the patient. As you can imagine, because there are multiple clinical applications and multiple clinical settings that require CO2 sampling, we recommend the usage of the 3475-00 dehumification line. That would be this one right here. It has two very convenient properties. Firstly, it has a continuous lifespan of 120 hours, and secondly, it has a male luer lock ending. As a result, you must acquire a cannula, nasal hood, or mask that accommodates your clinical application, and that it has a luer lock port for CO2 sample collection. As a result, you would change the cannula after each patient and only replace the dehumification line when the monitors provide a message stating that the line is worn out. For example, a common setting is IV sedation with constant O2 feeding. This requires a specific pigtail cannula system where on one nostril CO2 is sampled and on the other O2 is being fed. The separation is necessary to prevent any sample distortion, and one such example is the Salter Labs 4706F cannula. It's a nasal cannula. So in order to integrate the system, we first connect the dehumification line. So it has the Respironics appropriate clip, and it has the luer lock ending. And here we have an open cannula. So you would simply take the luer lock portion of your cannula, secure it onto the dehumification line, and your system is set to go. So as you can see there, the cannula is separated. One component goes to this green tube right here, which is where the O2 would be fed. So it has a regular connector, and it has the adapter for the larger tubing. So as you can see, one portion is dedicated only for the O2, and the other one is dedicated for the collecting of CO2. Okay. Another very common setting is CO2 sampling with the feeding of N2O and O2 through the usage of an anesthesia machine. For this scenario, the operator would have to acquire nasal hoods that can connect the gas feeding system to the nasal hood, and that has, of course, a luer lock for the collection of CO2 samples. One such provider is Icotron. Here we have an example of a nasal hood. As you can see, it has the tubing that would connect to the anesthesia machine, and it has the luer lock connection that would connect to the dehumification line. So again, we have our dehumification line. It's clipped into the actual sensor, and in order to connect the cannula or the nasal hood, we would simply twist it in, and now it's secured. So as you can see, the workflow is quite simple. You connect the module to your monitor. Next, you connect the 3475 dehumification line, and after every patient you would use, of course, a new cannula, because that's what's making contact with your patient, and only when it's worn out you would replace the dehumification line. The 3475 line should be included in your basic Edan accessory box, and any additional cannulas would have to be acquired through your vendor. If there are any additional questions, feel free to reach the Edan service team at any time. Thank you.